Those that are grasping at power, power over, will be their own undoing. Hello everyone, happy Friday and welcome to our daily ritual. I'm Reese with the Cohere Collective, and our daily ritual is a secular devotional daily spiritual session to help you build some purpose and coherence into your daily routine. Today, we are focusing on the fifth pillar of coherence, which is space that manifests as justice. And this is an offered intention, something for you to focus on, what I will be using on to focus today's session. But of course, if there's anything else that you are working on or would like to call in to today's ritual, please do so. Okay. To get us started, I am going to use some incense to cleanse our shared space. And as I do so, I invite you to close your eyes or soften your vision, whatever feels comfortable, and begin to deepen your breath. And this deepening of breath doesn't have to be dramatic. There doesn't have to be any fancy technique. It's really more about calling mindfulness to the ways that we breathe, that we are, to this vital aspect of being. As the breath deepens, come into where you are in space, and begin to notice. How is the body feeling? How is the mind feeling? How is the heart feeling? And then just give yourself permission to use these next few minutes for you. Just for you. They are yours. I gift them to you. However, the next few minutes will best serve you, focusing on you. Do that. Try it out. See how it feels to listen to yourself and answer with a yes. Here in a moment, I am going to invite you to take a deep breath with me, and when I do so, I want you to make it the deepest breath of the day so far. Okay. Whenever your breathing pattern allows, take that deep breath in and expand the lungs, fill them up just a tiny bit more, and exhale. And tune in to the collective. To everyone that is joining us here across space, across time, sharing this breath and sharing this ritual. Slowly allow your breathing to return to its comfortable pattern. And when you're ready, you may open your eyes. Okay. Happy Friday. It's Friday, y'all. Can you feel the Friday energy in the air? I am going to start shuffling our cards for today, and as I do so, I invite you to bring back to mind our intention of space that manifests justice, and anything else that you may have called in at the beginning of our session, and anything that you may want to call in now. Bring it to mind. I saw the card that fell. I want to get through the shuffle though to make sure that there's nothing left. Yeah. Our card today is the Emperor in reverse. And the thing that just came into my mind is the Emperor has no clothes. But before we dive in, let me describe the card quickly. It is an emperor sitting on a throne with rich red robes, and in one hand is a staff with the symbol of Isis at the top, is what that always looks like to me, and the sphere, the orb with a cross on top in the other hand. But of course, I think we've talked about this before, the orb to me in the card always looks like a leaf at the top as opposed to a cross, so do with that what you will. And the top two corners of the card have ram's heads on each side. And to get the Emperor in reverse is an undoing of power, and not in a I almost want to say not in an aggressive way, but in a revelatory way. The Emperor has no clothes. If you're not familiar with this parable, I don't actually know the history of this story. I'll do some research and link it down below so that we can all dive in and research that together. But I remember this being a story I was told when I was younger. My grandma actually had a CD full of parables like this that were non-religious, but just wise stories, like and maybe they're like Aesop's fables. Maybe that's actually where they come from. And the reason I'm saying that is because one of the stories on the CD was the story of the frog and the scorpion. And then also there was the story of the rabbit and the hare. And then the Emperor's new clothes was the other one too. I'm sure there were many others, but maybe it was just a CD of Aesop's fables. That's kind of, because I'm pretty sure the frog and the scorpion is Aesop. This isn't relevant to the message. Maybe it is. But I'll link information to all of that down below. In terms of like oral tradition, I think it's fascinating the messages that these tales hold, and that we continue to tell, that we continue to proliferate and propagate to our kids to give some sort of moralism to them. And in the tale of the Emperor has no clothes, or the Emperor's new clothes, the Emperor is trying to, there's some grand parade or celebration coming up, and he wants a new outfit. He wants to look spiffy, hashtag relatable. And he hires all of these beautiful fabric wielders, makers, textile merchants to come in and display their best and most beautiful textiles and fabrics to decide who gets to make his outfit for this celebration. And he's going through all of the fabrics, and of course it's like rich ruby reds and deep purples and all the colors and symbols of royalty and royalness, right? And then he gets to this one merchant who has nothing in his hands, but it looks like he is holding something, and he's, like kind of acting like it's fabric on the little spool thing that you see when you go to Joann's and you're looking at the fabrics. But there's nothing there. And the Emperor says, "You don't have any fabric. What's going on? What are you doing?" And the man says, "You don't see it?" And the Emperor is like, "No, what do you mean?" And the man said, "This is a new fabric that is magical and special, and not everyone can see it, but it is the most beautiful, powerful fabric that there is." And of course, the Emperor eats that shit right up and hires this man to make him a new outfit out of the magical fabric. And as you would expect, the day of the parade, when he wears this new outfit out, he is expecting everyone to be in awe of his new outfit. But the Emperor has no clothes. And the energy of this is like, it's not an aggressive undoing of authority or power. It is using your skill sets of cunning and patience to allow the emperor to undo himself. This fabric maker, while I suppose there was a lie in the beginning, did not force the emperor to do anything, did not force him to walk out into any parade in the nude. The emperor did because of this desire to feel like he sees the power and the majesty and the beauty of this magical fabric. Of course the emperor understands the majesty here, but it is that ego. It is that desire for power, for the insecurity in what your power is founded in, that is the emperor's undoing. So with justice work, I think the message is pretty clear, right? Those that are grasping at power over, will be their own undoing. We simply need to keep going, use our intellect, our cunning, and allow these people's insecurities to speak for themselves. It's hard because it takes time. In the original fable, I want to say they go through like 3 iterations of the emperor going back to the dressmaker and, saying, I don't see it yet. Like, what's going on? Am I going to see it? And it takes time for the outfit to be sewn and the emperor to eventually walk out in the nude. So have patience, have heart, and remember that your power does not come from wielding it over others, from lording anyone over anyone else. It comes from a deep wisdom of who you already are, of what you already are, and of the beauty that exists within you. It is those that don't have that understanding, that seek beautiful fabrics, finery, jewels, gold, expensive things to fortify their power, to prove to you how great of a ruler they actually are. For our mantra today, taking inspiration from the Emperor and in reverse and this theme of space that manifests as justice and anything else that you called in to our session today. Our mantra is going to be, I embrace patience as ego becomes its own undoing. The mantras this week are thick, y'all. But I kind of really like that. I embrace patience as I allow the ego to become its own undoing. Yeah. Here in a moment, I'm going to invite you to take another deep breath with me. And on the exhale, we will repeat this mantra of I embrace patience as I allow ego to become its own undoing. Okay. Whenever you're ready, whenever that breathing pattern allows, take a deep breath in. And exhale, repeating our mantra, I embrace patience as I allow ego to become its own undoing. And with this mantra, it's important to keep in mind that this can implicate the self too. This implicates anyone who is clinging to that ego, to that power over. And it is also a call to see those tendencies within ourselves, not just to point fingers, but also calling those that wield power dangerously on the carpet too. For our practice today, I want you to take one really intentional, deep breath at some point in the day, but not right after this. Maybe set an alarm on your phone if you think you'll need a reminder, but just one moment in your day to pause, step back, and just take one deep breath. It doesn't have to be some meditation. You don't have to do some method or technique to get into it. Just one deep breath, and then notice and see what arises. I think this will be helpful for, at least for me, this feeling that it's conjuring is this idea of like patience, right? And stepping into trust and faith. That's kind of what patience asks us to do. And I think when we're acting out of this sense of urgency or, kind of revving the engine at the red light, it creates this kind of chaos within us that's not really doing anything productive in the ways that we may want to be using this energy in a productive way. So if we want to call in trust and using patience, when you start to feel that kind of restless energy be stirred up or kicked up because of whatever happens, take an intentional deep breath just to call back into mind faith, trust, and a little pixie dust. Why not? We always need some pixie dust too, right? Oh, I need to watch Peter Pan. What a good story. Thank you all so very much for being here with me today. I hope you enjoyed today's ritual. If you did, please share it with someone that you think would also enjoy it or maybe needs to hear this message today. And as always, I am very much looking forward to seeing you right back here tomorrow. Our Daily Ritual is a podcast by the Cohere Collective that helps you build purpose and coherence into your daily routine. A big thank you to Podington Bear for our Daily Rituals theme music, and as always, I hope you feel like you are living more coherently. Until next time, love.